You know, the heart is the largest muscle in the body, and we always want it to be working strong, pumping strong, but sometimes, well, it may get not working as well as we want it to. So what do? Well, first of all, you come to the #1, 3 years in a row, heart facility here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, and that's Singing River Health System's Ocean Springs location. And we're talking to, of course, Dr. Jason Williams is the cardiovascular surgeon here. How are you again? It's good to see you.
It's great to see you again. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you very much for having us here. I mean, one of the great things, and I talk about this every time that I do interview one of the great physicians or surgeons with Singing River Health System, is how far ahead that y'all are getting in so many different ways. And one of the things is structural heart. What is structural heart surgery that you do?
That's a great question. When we talk about the structural heart program here at Singing River Health System, what we're talking about is correcting disease processes of the anatomy of the heart itself. And so, for example, within the heart, this is a model of the heart, within the heart there are these valves which are depicted here in white, and then there's another valve that's depicted here. There are also septal structures which divide the different chambers of the heart. All of those things can, if they have disease processes as a part of them, can cause physiologic problems that lead to symptoms that can be very detrimental to patients and make their quality of life a lot worse than it should be. Our program here is designed to correct these problems, these structural problems. One of the amazing things about this particular program that we have is if you have one of these disease processes, you don't go see a doctor about this problem. You see a team. We have a team of specialists here, both cardiologists, cardiac surgeons, also our anesthesia group, nurses, all specializing in taking care of these problems and these processes. And we also work with industry who has developed a significant amount of technology which allows us the opportunity to fix patients oftentimes less invasively than before. And so we can work together both in the operating room and in the cath lab to work as a team to get patients feeling better, back on their feet, and back to their lives, which is exciting.
And do you find using these new systems a lot? You can do them more often now than you have to go in and just crack somebody wide open.
Well, one of the things that it does is it provides us the ability to take patients who wouldn't necessarily tolerate an operation of that magnitude, where that's all we could offer them 5-10 years ago, and we can potentially fix their problem with less invasive techniques. And in doing that, we're able to provide a better service to more people in our community. And so that's something that we're very proud of here. And what it's done is it's given us more tools in our toolbox.
That's awesome. And you've got a couple of, and I'm only going by my notes here because I have no idea what they are. MitraClip versus TAVR.
Right.
Tell us the difference between, what these two are and the difference between them.
So that's a great question. So the MitraClip is a device that we use that we put onto the mitral valve to fix patients who have a valve that's leaking, meaning blood is going backwards through the heart in the wrong direction. So this model over here gives us a demonstration of that. And what you can see here on the heart, this here is the mitral valve, and this white thing underneath is a clip. And what that clip does is it brings the leaflets of the valve together so that they're not flopping so much and they don't leak and things don't go in the wrong direction. To give you a real-world example of what this looks like, this is an actual clip that we will put on somebody if they need this device to help their mitral valve function better. So that's what it looks like. It's quite small.
It's very small.
And it is it's placed in a procedure that that usually will take an hour and a half, 2 hours to do. A TAVR, or transcatheter aortic valve replacement, looks more like this. So there is a valve that leaves the heart called the aortic valve, and so when the heart squeezes, blood goes out of that valve to the rest of our body. Oftentimes that valve can become diseased as we get older. Calcium will build up on it, or the valve leaflets themselves become worn out and they don't function as well. What we can do now is we can take a valve on the end of a delivery system that we start by inserting into the femoral artery down in the leg. We can snake that delivery system up into the aorta, down into the heart, and we can deploy this valve without ever making an incision on the skin.
Really?
And so this allows us the ability to take care of patients who in the past required a big open heart operation with a large incision, and now we're able to do it less invasively. Both the cardiologists and the surgeons bring their expertise to the table when we're taking care of patients like this, and those patients end up benefiting from our combined experience rather than one or the other, and it allows us to treat our community with really the latest technology. This is really the future of heart care in America and around the world, and we're fortunate that we can provide that here in Ocean Springs.
Tell us about this new hybrid operating room that's currently under construction here.
So this
opening up, what, the end of the year?
In a couple of weeks, actually. We're going to be doing our first procedures there in a couple of weeks. This is a unique concept that has developed as a result of some of these minimally invasive techniques for correcting valve problems. It's a room that is a combination cath lab and operating suite. So within this room, there is an operating room table that a patient can lay on with all of the anesthesia equipment necessary to do a full open heart operation. And there's also imaging equipment, as would be used in the cath lab, in order for us to take the x-ray pictures that we would need to do during interventions. And so we can do any number of interventions in this room that we would be able to do in the cath lab or in the operating room in a combined place. What this does is it allows us to use whatever tool we have in our toolbox to treat the individual patient at that particular time. And if we're doing one thing and we realize that we need assistance with another technique, we've got all the tools at our disposal to be able to do that and offer that to the patient. It's a forward-thinking thing that our administration has provided us and is going to only benefit our patients and our community.
Well, again, as I mentioned at the beginning, I see so many things every time that I come and interview one of the great doctors or physicians here at Singing River Health System, how they are staying on top of the technology and moving forward to better help your patients to get them on the road to recovery a lot faster.
Right.
Dr. Williams, thank you. That's really interesting.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you having me.
Well, thank you very much for having us here again. Now, of course, if you would like some more information, or if you're a candidate for one of these special little clips or valves or to get your heart working back right, go online or check with your physician and see if you need to come see one of these physicians at Singing River Health System.